Greetings, thank you for joining me. This is Little Steps and I'm Tim at howdoidothis01@yahoo.com. Today we're going to go ahead and paint the rose. Please note that I've already colored the rose and I've changed the palette color for this part of the video. The previous one was red, so don't get disturbed about this. The color choices are yours. Now we're going to focus in on how to actually lay the color on the canvas to give yourself a pretty rose. Okay, let's go without further ado. You want to pick your color. Pick a base coat, doesn't matter which color, and then you want to check your swath. What I mean by that is pick the size of your spray tool so you know what size you're getting onto the canvas. Now I'm tapping on the control and the plus sign to give myself a bigger swath. And you want to go with a fairly large one. Okay, now this is just a test to see where we're at. Okay, now test where you're at so you know what size you're going to get when you start spraying the spray tool. Now the first thing you want to do is, once you pick your base coat, which we've already done, pick your spray can or your flood fill can tool, and you want to paint your rose on your base coat. Just go ahead and color this in yellow. Choose a central color, because the color, you can always either lighten it or darken it, but if you pick to the brightest or go to the darkest, you're going to have trouble with it. If you start in the middle, you can gradiate either way and it really will help you. Okay, let's go ahead, pick this. Now you'll notice I'm not worrying about the little things because it's going to be colored in here pretty quick. Now as you cover your canvas here in these spray colors with the spray can tool, let's go ahead and pick my next down color, which will be this one. I'm skipping a color because quite honestly it's too close of a shade for you to be able to see right off the top. So let's go ahead and we're going to start spraying in here with the spray can tool. And you just go around the rose, and it's really easy. You don't have to be too particular. You don't have to get it precise. You don't have to be exact. The objective here is just to lay in some shading, and you go all the way around the rose. And the objective here is just to shade it in to give you some color depth. If you go around the rose, it's hard to really notice the big difference right now, but it will become apparent here real quick. Now go ahead and pick your next darker color, which will be down here, and you continue on, and you just keep spraying over the rose. Go around the edge of the petals, and make a note of this, that I'm not being too precise here. I'm just running around the edges, and I'm going to run around these edges here where it's a little darker, where you see the shading. And the reason you're doing that is you want to graduate from the light to the dark a little bit more gradually. So you want to go one color at a time and just graduate into these other areas. Now also notice that I'm going to start going a little smaller on the spray can. And what I'm doing by doing that is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put more pronouncement or variation on the color around some of the areas where it should be shaded a little darker. Okay, now go ahead and pick your selection tool, go to a darker color, and then what you're going to do is you're going to start going just around where these shaded areas are. And you can go up into here and really focus here on where it's starting to get shaded darker. And it's going to become really apparent here as you get in and do this. It doesn't look like much right now, but it really is going to pop at you here in just a minute. And the faster you move the tool, the less you're going to spray on it, so be aware of that and just practice. This is not an exact science, but you'll notice that I'm not being too precise here. Okay, now let's go to a darker color and then spray a little bit more. Now you can also get a little bit smaller on your spray tool here, and then you want to just focus in on the edges. And the tighter you go with this spray can, the more apparent it's going to be on the end product. Now you'll notice I'm not trying to cover everything with every single pass. What I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to graduate into the darker areas. And then we're going to layer this onto the other rows that we have underneath this canvas. Or rather, we're going to layer the other one on top of this one. Now let's go one more shade darker here, down to the darkest. And then just go in here and just touch some of these real dark areas. And you're just going to get this areas here where you know it's really dark. And you want to really make it pop at you. And then some of the tips of the rose here. Now you'll notice I'm going over the lines. That's okay. Okay, now I'll go down in here. And then a little bit right in here. And okay. Now let's go ahead and go down to this one. Now you want to select all, and then you want to right click and copy, and then you want to go back to the first canvas, click on your selection tool, make sure that your background transparency is selected, right click on it and paste, and you got yourself a pretty rose. It's literally that simple. Thanks again for watching the video. Keep practicing, have fun with this. If you have any questions or comments, please send me an email. I'm more than happy to walk through this with you, or send you a copy of this rose so that you can practice yourself. Have fun with it, enjoy, and practice learning to use your tools in Paint and on Windows. This lesson series is just about learning to use Windows. The bonus is you're getting to learn how to do a few things in Paint and maybe make a little bit of an artist of yourself. Anyway, have fun with it, enjoy it, and thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.